All right. Hello, internet strangers. I'm here to bring an Azalea Armory deck gameplay. Um, I like the class. I like the aesthetics of the hero. I like a lot of the art, especially the older school Azalea cards specifically. Red and Ledger, Remorseless, some of those are just fantastic. So, yeah, this is a hero for me in a lot of ways. I'll talk a bit about that in the game coming up. Gonna go versus Kayo here. I think he's just a good baseline. I don't trust this computer to play Bolton correctly, and KO is much more straightforward, basically. So yeah, gonna random this up and see what happens. There is no inventory for the Armory decks, so we're just gonna play. I'm a starting player. This is actually kind of nice for Azalea because you get to how do I want to do this? There's almost definitely a proper sequencing here. I think it's load and arrow first. Um, yeah, I think it's load and arrow first, and then see if I want to Azalea by playing a scout or whatnot. I would prefer to ravel and attack. Uh, I do want to arsenal something. I do like blood rot boosting. Yeah, I don't think I get much value out of the rabble in turn zero situation, really. So, yeah, we're going to Death Dealer. We're going to pitch the rabble. We're going to load the drill shot because it's my only arrow. I get another lace, which is nice. So here's where we're going to check. Do I want to Azalea? I do want to Azalea. This is a great card, to Azalea. Okay. That goes away. It's better than the drill shot in this case. It's going to have dominate. So we're pulling it in. The other question I want to ask for myself is do I want to put an aim counter on it to turn on its effect where my opponent basically loses a card? And I think the answer to that is yes. I won't get to arsenal anything if I do it this way, but I still think the answer is yes. Damage on this turn, getting an inertia plus the hand restriction on his upcoming turn, just good. So we're pulling that in. Yes, I do want to put an aim counter. I will pitch this lace with blood rot, and we'll play this lace with inertia to make it big. He can throw his equipment at it, in which case, again, I'm fine. As a turn zero play, all that stuff is good for me. And okay, we just get a block. Yep, he cycles out a card for his upcoming turn. And he gets inertia. Which basically means that cycled card is not going to be able to get used at all because he's not going to be able to arsenal it. I don't think this is going to a second cycle. Also, damage turn zero, two relevant control effects. Feels great, man. This keeps happening. The computer has just made an extra action point after playing a wild ride that hit. Why it would choose to do this, I do not know. My hand, infecting. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure something like load infecting, shoot infecting is okay. Load spire, spin, see what we get, and either shoot it or maybe get a better card off the top, I think is better. I do like to gamble here. So I'm going to pass just in case he sends an on hit that I need to care about in my next attack. Or in his next attack. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And yep, this would have cleared up my arsenal. So yeah, we're just going to block. Pass. Oh yeah. Because it was turn 0, he got a 4-card hand plus that card that was banished. So that actually kind of gave him a card in a weird sense. But still, it prevented, if he didn't have a double attack turn, it prevented a relevant arsenal. Okay, so just as we wrote it up, we're going to pitch Infecting, Arsenal Spire Spinning. We got 2 cards here. I don't think there's actually any value in pulling up the Bolton Shot over the Drill. So we're going to take the Drill. It's like this. We're going to put the resource on it. Yes. We're going to Lace. This is basically guaranteed to hit. So there is a world in which I use the Totalizer and draw the Bolton, load the Bolton, give this arrow go again, load the Bolton, shoot the Bolton, and if things would have lined up a little bit differently with the boosts and this knocked the death whistle in my hand versus potentially another arrow, maybe I would go for that extra wide hand with a bunch of target totalizers drawing me cards and stuff like that. I don't think that we're going to get a big turn like that here, so we're just going to swing. All right, coming in for 7. I get to reduce the value on a piece of equipment. We're going to put it on the sash, even though he's likely to sacrificing without getting value from it. But that is basically 2 value worth of armor reduction, passing, pass, arsenal. There's no reason not to arsenal here. Worst, I can play it. I can Azalea something into it. I have the Red in the Ledger, which is ideally the card you would search up with that in my hand. But also, this is not great against Kayo. All right, so we've got the Go Again coming in. What does a turn here look like? I have no boosts, which is feels bad, man. It looks like I'm going to rabble, see if I want to spin Azalea or not. Load an arrow. Maybe dock. And then actually spin this. If I go through all that, I think I need to load the free arrow as opposed to red. Blocking with Red in the Ledger, by the way, feels terrible because, again, it's one of the better cards in the deck, but I don't know that I have the energy to do anything better, and I don't have pumps. It's kind of an awkward hand. So we're going to block. All right, pitch, claw, block. Wow, into another Wild Ride. A pretty fucking good turn for this Kayo. Yeah, Kayo playing Wild Rides is good for him. And again, he played the Sash to be able to do that. So I kind of lost some drill shot value there. What are you going to do? Right, so step one, Rabble. That was terrible. Hooray, 2 damage. What do I want to do? I want to put Disruptive Arrow on top. Ideally one that I can put an aim counter on. And then Death Dealer that in. Knock. Okay, so knock it is. I believe Sedation Shot. Yeah. There's the one that turns off their hero, but I don't think that gets a boost. Sleep Dart. Yeah, no aim counter funness there. So we're going to take the Sedation. Barbed Undertow. Can't pitch cards. Kind of like this too. Right, so we're not reloading here because Death Dealer is a better way to reload cards than all these cards that say reload, which is another weird thing about this deck, which is why I think New Horizons is going to be a great headpiece. So yeah, we're passing on the reload. We're going to Death Dealer. We're going to pitch this knock. We're going to load the Bolt and Shot. Oh, we draw that other arrow. Fuck. I don't know if I could have sequenced that more correctly. At this point, spinning Azalea is really a risk, but we gonna do it. All right. I think we're gonna load this in just so I have a fucking turn. It has an aim counter. I can use this draw card thing, potentially the go again thing, but I'll be out of energy, out of ability to reload, so not really going to happen in this case. We're just going to send. Nice. You cannot pitch blues. Watch him be like a 5 yellow hand. Let's see what happens. As far as I know, this deck has no way to look at the opponent's hand, so there's not really a turn where you can line that card up to really do anything better. I suppose you can scout to look at the top of their deck and see what color they're about to draw. Cool. You know, I'm into that. Effective play. Yeah, it made playing his reds actually impossible because he had 2 blues in his hand. I am not playing an instant before this resolves. No, thank you. Bro's coming in for 7. Again... Yeah, I think it's pitch, load, look. And if I don't like what I see, maybe I just play the same turn that I did again. Defend with which card? Pass. Just take the damage is the answer. All right, so you first. Pitch in the blue. Pass. Which arrow? Did I think I had an arrow and I don't? So I again had no way to reload. And basically just IP'd myself into oblivion here. Yes. That is exactly what happened. My god, that feels bad. I've probably done stupid sequencing misplays like that about a dozen times. Do I get any special value out of any of these cards? Not really. I would like to have this scout for next turn, and I do not want this 0 block. Technically, I can get information for his upcoming turn if he doesn't draw a card on this turn. Might as well. What else am I gonna do? Pass. Look at the opponent's deck. He's got a yellow incoming. So unless he draws and discards, a yellow happening on his turn. I'm going to play this. We're going to pull back. The undertow actually doesn't make sense to pull back. Let's pull back the rabble. And we're going to pass. Arsenal this. Fuck. And again, the arsenal, because I can't give it a name counter. Unless I have very specific cards in hand. Alright, Wreak Havoc coming in. I think we're pitching that to Death Dealer. Rabble. Sorry, Reed, then Rabble, then Sleep Dart. Yeah. I'm at 11 life. We're going to throw this in just so I don't lose value on it. Not play defense reactions. Gotcha. All right. I'm low enough where I need to care about like pulping. Being able to potentially just knock me the F out. All right, so we're playing this. Then we're loading. Start. Yes. Draw a Bolton. Okay. Then we're reading. I would not prefer to play this. But I can guarantee the Dom on it. Opponent's at 14. I can't guarantee a kill on it. Hitting with Sleep Dart or getting a full block is definitely way better than fucking with their armor. So we're going to bottom that. Okay. Right, we're going to Ravenous Rabble. To look again. This lets me get the Dom Sleep Dart. What am I looking at here? 5, 3, 3, 11. That lets me get Dom, Sleep Dart. Well, there's just no reason not to do it in this case. Do I target Totalizer to get something in my arsenal? Probably. I would rather he blocked me out, really. But Sleep Dart has a real chance to fuck with his turn. Because we're nearing the end of the game, we're going to pull the target Totalizer here. We're going to Dom up. No. Or what could I possibly get? I could pull a Ravenous Rabble that I can just play out. Or something I would rather have in Arsenal than Bolton Shot. Which is basically nothing. So, no. I don't think we're going again this turn. And we're going to swing with the Sleep Dart. Died. So he gets agility, which is absolutely terrible for me. Because that means he's going to get go again, no matter what. Which is, again, one of the worst things that can happen. Oh yeah, and I popped this and didn't give this stupid thing. It's just a waste of a card there. If I had the chance to go wider on this upcoming turn and that gets in the way, I'll just kick myself. Pass, Arsenal this. Right, we let that resolve. Eight, go again. This can almost guarantee a dommed up arrow. The computer's stupid, so it's likely going to be taking 4. But I need to not die. Or likely going to be taking 2. So yeah, here we're just blocking away. Yeah, I take 2. And then yeah, it's Claw indeed. Claw GA. Which one of these? There's no 6 damage arrows. Yeah, it's better that I lace because I can see a nice juicy arrow on top that I can basically guarantee will push through damage. Right. Go to all right. If I don't win here, I'm basically toast. having screwed up, I think 2 of my turns like into complete washes at this point. Um, well, let's see where we go with this. If this is not something big on top, I'm not going to roll. I'm going to go with the safer plan of doing the Bolton, just to strip cards, and hopefully I can go through another turn. It's a drill shot, which I can dominate. It comes in for 6. I think I got it. It's just as good as the Bolton shot, except it'll have dominate, right? So we're keeping that. We're going to Azalea. Is there any value in pumping it? Oh, it's not a guaranteed kill. Because yeah, he'll get the block and 1 card. And I'll have to double block on the next turn. No cards in arsenal. Which again, feels bad, man. Right. Having the energy, I'm not going to be able to flip a card up because I'll have nothing in arsenal. This doesn't matter. I need to see. I think drill shot effect only matters on hit, right? Oh, it'll get piercing. That is highly relevant. Okay, flip that up. We get the energy. Drill shot comes in. Yes, we crow's nest it. And this piercing, I think, is exactly what we need. Gone through for the win. Wow, really scraped by there. Okay, thoughts. Obviously, I had done a bunch of misplays. Some of these are just frustrations with the client generally, and I want to pitch something and I didn't, or I wanted to play a card or pitch a card and said I played it. A couple times where I was making decisions, thinking about a future game state that wasn't real because I just didn't have an arrow in my hand, or I'd be shuffling the top of my deck. Sequences like that. At least that knock the death whistle turn was just a mistake. I couldn't play it out in the way that I wanted, even if I had done it correctly. I just don't think it was possible. But a couple things to note here. Bolton shot I wanted to make more use of. Didn't get enough boost effects, I think, to really make it worthwhile. Having Flight Path and this card on the top of your deck, or the target totalizer, I believe, be reliant on aim counters being on your cards, really feels difficult, especially because your only way to get aim counters onto stuff are some of your non-attack actions, which requires that your arrows be in either a face down or a face up state in order to play them, or the crow's nest. The crow's nest needs you to Azalea into an arrow that you want to attack with, and if it's not the right arrow, things might not line up. There are a couple blue arrows that you can pitch to have, like, a death dealer play into one of those, like point the tip, for example, which lets you put an aim counter on a card in arsenal and then shoot. Getting a couple of those turns would have been nice, but this point the tip card even is one where you don't want to have it in your arsenal, which is an odd thing. I don't think I drew any this game. Yeah, it looks like no. Because it targets a card in your arsenal. and it's the only card you can have in your arsenal because you only have one arsenal slot in this deck. I feel like a lot of these cards like that, you want to Death Dealer because it's just so much value, but it doesn't. It gets in the way of the aim counter plan, and all of the reload effects that you have, you usually want to pass on in favor of Death Dealering. The Azalea ability, because of the high number of attack actions in the deck, and actually we'll take a look at how many there actually are in the deck, really feels like, I wish I could get a view that really said how many were attack versus non-attack. How many actual boosting cards in the deck? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, 6 times 3, so 18 boosting cards in the deck. It feels low in proportion to the number of arrows. If Bolt and Shot got go again off of an aim counter, maybe that would feel better. But no, you need to have a boost card in order to do that. And actual attack actions in the deck, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus about 2 more, which is about 22 or something like that. Okay. Sorry, 25. I still do feel like I want more non-attack actions. Azalea's generally a go tall strategy. She has the ability to fish for more cards through the Read to Glide pass, through the Azalea hero ability. So I think I would prefer to see more cards that are letting me build up my arrows. This card specifically, I think really wants a New Horizons deck to be playing with. New Horizons plus aim counter arrows, and then Scout the Periphery. Like, I really just wish it was another set of Breathe the Glide Pass or something similar. Stone Rain is cool, actually. This is one of those cards that you can get Dominate on if you can get a counter on it. Unfortunately, one of the most reliable ways to get an aim counter on a card is to put it in with the Azalea hero ability, making this a non-bow. Azalea plus Crow's Nest is basically the easiest way to get counter on it. You can plan for it only so much in the case of, like, that it's going to happen off of one of your opt cards. But it again feels limited. I would rather have a streamlined version of this that was less aim counter reliant, especially the equipment suite feels too clunky, and I would basically just remove straight up Point the Tip, and likely line it up as well, which wants a face down card. It costs 1. It flips it up. I don't know that that's really any better for you. Yep, that's my thoughts on the Azalea Armory deck after taking a few rides with it here on Felt Table, which is basically, just a step up from goldfishing a deck. Yep. Thanks. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you think of the deck, and have a good one. Peace.